Okay, so I'm going to replace the damaged electric motor here. It's actually got a bent shaft from that catastrophic failure a couple of weeks back. So I've got the new motor in the mail. Just got to unhook all the elastic straps that are designed to stop it from flying through the roof. Anyway, so taking that all off, and I'll flip it over because I can only access the screws from the bottom with the lid on it. I'm not taking the lid off for a while. I'll leave that on there. So it's held in, the motor's held in with two socket head cap screws. I think they're M3s, very small, tiny. So get the Allen key in there. It's really tight. There's only a small cavity in there, and all four motors, the backs of them go into that back section, into the center section, I should say. So it's pretty tight, especially with all the wires too. Have to take the wires off the terminals of the electric motors. There's one of the socket head cap screws in there. That was actually near the top. The one further down is a little bit harder to get to. It's a lot deeper. So these motors cost me about $30 Australian. So it's not too bad. Had to get it from China, of course. I think the first lot might have been from Australia somewhere in Sydney. I can't remember, but they don't have any in stock, but there was another stockist in China, so I just bought it from them and just had to wait for the parcel to arrive from China, which wasn't too long, only a couple of weeks. It was actually quite good. So I've gone to get another tool, a little little pliers I've got. Oh, they're not pliers, they're little like forceps. They're from a medical shop actually. They're stainless. I bought them many years ago. They were selling them cheap. They're like used medical tools that they use. So I bought those and they're pretty handy. So just unscrewing it with those because the Allen key can't get in that little cavity. It's a bit tight. Yeah, so as you saw on the other videos, it was pretty catastrophic. And like I said, it actually bent the shaft when you run it. It still runs. The motor still runs, but it's got a wobble in the shaft, which is no good now. So that's got to come off. And I'll put the new one in. That's the second screw. So hopefully the motor comes out easily because sometimes they're a bit tight in the hole. Oh, look, that slid out nicely. I try to keep it nice and firm in that hole so it doesn't wobble around in there. That one was obviously pretty good. There's a new motor, exactly the same. 30,000 RPM, 24 volt DC. So there's a bit of a, on the motor, there's like on the outer casing, there's like a little gap. And I just got to remember which way I orientated that gap, whether it was in the up position or the down. I'm pretty sure it was in the up position on all four of them, keeping it all consistent. So now the hard bit, trying to get the screws back in there. And I just remembered, I've got to put a bit of Loctite on that, because what happened was with the vibration, the screws just vibrated loose and they fell out on early runs. So I've just got some medium strength just to hold it in there, but not too tight so I can't get them out when I need to. So all I need is a little dab on those stainless steel socket head cap screws. Everything's I've tried to keep in here stainless steel, so it reacts less with the electric magnet, with the magnets I should say, and with the motors. So all stainless. Easy to get online, lots of places sell them. Packets of stainless bolts and nuts and screws and you name it. Yeah, so just wiping a bit of excess off, and don't want too much in there. Don't want it getting inside the motor and damaging the motor, because it's just held in with two little threads, that motor. There's two threads in the front of it as well, but I've just got the two screws from behind holding it in. And so the terminals are horizontal, and so I'll have to connect the terminals back on the electric wires once I've got it connected. All my tools are just in my toolbox right next to me, so I just pull them out when I need them. Yeah, it's just really fiddly, just very fiddly. And if I drop it in there, then it's in the bottom there, and I've got to shake it and rattle it and try to get all the bits back out and then put it back in. Got a nice soft cushion to work on so it doesn't damage it. Also because I've got the eye bolt coming out of the roof, out of the top, and that eye bolt's for connecting a counterweight to, which I'll be redoing that up. I've bought some stainless steel 2mm diameter cable, and that's going to be coming down from the roof and connecting to the top of the lid, so I can counterweight it and take some of the weight out of this whole unit, which is 3 kilos, just a few grams under 3 kilos. So when the motors try to lift it, I'm going to try to counterweight it to about 2.9 something kilos. So it's only going to try to lift like 10 grams instead of trying to lift the whole 3 kilos. And then what I'm going to do is, if I can get it to lift, and I can lift 10 grams, then I'll start taking some of the weights off the counterweight and see how many weights I can take off before the device falls back down to the cushion. And that will tell me how good their lifting capacity is, their thrust, their upward thrust is. And I'm pretty confident it will lift because of my previous experiments, which you've probably seen on the other videos, that they move along the table. But as I said, due to friction and other factors, I need to make something that actually lifts directly upwards. And that'll be the actual, the real test to see if it actually lifts it upwards, not on a table with friction, so it can bounce and then the friction of the table stops it going backwards and then it bounces again, like a kangaroo bouncing on the table, little mini bounces. So and even on a cable going sideways, I'm worried that it's doing little mini bounces, little kangaroo hops, and then it's using the friction of the cable or the table or whatever to stop it sliding backwards. And that's why it's got a horizontal movement on the table, as you notice in the other videos. So to eliminate that, it's got to be a pure lift against gravity, straight up. So that's what I'm going to try to achieve in these experiments and these experimental motors I'm building. So finally getting that screw in, it's just a pain. Everything just takes time, but you just got to be patient. Patience is the biggest asset you've got to have. If you don't have patience, don't even bother. Don't even start these experiments. Don't even look at doing anything like this, because if you don't have patience, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to throw it in the bin when it doesn't work the first time, and you're going to give up. So persistence is also important, because you've got to persist, but it's the patience. If you don't have patience and ability to just take your time and try again and again, then you're not going to achieve anything. You're not going to, unless you're really lucky the first go and you put it together and she flies straight away, then geez, you've had a lot of luck. But that's not how a lot of science works these days in all fields. You've just got to try different things. If the first thing doesn't work, you learn from it and see why didn't it work and think, how am I going to change this? What am I going to do to make it work? So you try something different. Think, okay, I'm going to try something different. And that's what I'm going to do with these. I'm modifying the wheels actually just a little bit. So they'll basically be the same, but there'll be a little bit more backlash or gap underneath each of the magnets. So the magnets can actually bounce backwards into the center about 2 to 3 mil before they hit anything. So there'll be a gap underneath each of the magnets in the next wheels, and that's what I'm printing up, and I'm going to show you what that print does. Okay, so in another video I'm printing them up, but anyway, this is my motor changeout. And yeah, I am taking a while, aren't I? Anyway, like I said, patience. If you don't have it, then don't even get in the game. Don't even get in. Don't even try. Go do something else. This is just something you've got to have a lot of, and some imagination too. You've got to be able to think outside the box and try something different. Oh, I've got it. There you go. I'll show you inside. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it very well. Flip it back over. Yeah, okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, I'm going to give it a test run. Oh, yeah, I don't think I've got them plugged in. Yeah, stupid me. I do have some plugs in the wall, but they're not. There's 4 DC power packs there now, so not all 4 are plugged in. Only 2 are plugged in, and the one I'm using has some alligator clips. I can just clip it onto the wires from motor number 4. So I can test motor number 4. So I'll hook that up and I'll give it a test. But what I find is it doesn't work, and it's because I've got diodes in the wires to stop any back EMFs going back into the power pack and blowing the power packs. So I've just got to flip the wires around. That's why I got alligator clips, so I can just easily just flip them around for now while I'm just doing testing. And then once I've got them all hooked up, I'll hook up all 4 motors, because 2 run clockwise and 2 run anti-clockwise, remember, from previous things. So, yep, it's working. Beautiful. Love it. Thanks for watching.